Today's lesson: reading the passage, learning word meanings, practicing fill in the blanks without clues. Part 2: Higher Education. An Eastern University by Rabindranath Tagore. In the Bengali language, there is a modern maxim. Maxim means proverb, which can be translated, quote, "He who learns to read and write rides in a carriage and pair," unquote. In English, there is a similar proverb, quote, "Knowledge is power," unquote. It is an offer of a prospective bribe to the student. Prospective means potential. A promise of an ulterior reward. Ulterior means intentionally hidden. A promise of an ulterior reward which is more important than knowledge itself. Rabindranath Tagore here gives a sad account of the state of education and universities in India of his time. Indian educational system is quite materialistic. It tempts learners to acquire qualifications only. Unfortunately, our very education has been successful in depriving us of our real initiative and our courage of thought. He explains that education in India teaches through borrowed ideas and system, which does not give originality and courage of thought. The training we get in our schools has the constant implication. Constant means continuous implication. The training we get in our schools has the constant implication in it that it is not for us to produce but to borrow. And we are casting about to borrow. Casting about means moving about. We are casting about to borrow our educational plans from European institutions. By imitating European plans and programs, it imparts education to learners. In fact, Indian universities or academic institutions have no creativity and productivity. They borrow plans and programs from European educational institutions. It really lowers down the ego and prestige of an intellectual person in India. The trampled plants of Indian corn. Trampled means treated. The trampled plants of Indian corn are dreaming of recouping. Recouping means compensating their harvest from the neighboring wheat fields. The trampled plants even they also dream of recouping their harvest from neighboring wheat fields. To change the figure, we forget that for proficiency, proficiency means expertise or skills. For proficiency in walking, it is better to train the muscles of our own legs than to strut upon wooden ones of foreign make, although they clatter and cause more surprise at our skill in using them than if they were living and real. It means that we should learn to walk on our own legs instead of walking on borrowed legs. But when we go to borrow help from a foreign neighborhood, we overlook. Overlook means ignore. We overlook the fact that among the Europeans, the living spirit of the university is widely spread in their society, their parliament, their literature, and the numerous activities of their corporate life. It's true that Indian universities borrow plans and programs from European academic centers. While following their plans and programs, it is found that the living spirit of European universities is widely spread among people. It is also reflected in their society, parliament, literature, and numerous activities of their corporate life. In all these functions, they are in perpetual touch with the great personality. Perpetual means everlasting. In all these functions, they are in perpetual touch with the great personality of the land, which is creative and heroic in its constant acts of self expression and self sacrifice. Here, he praises European learning and universities compared to India's because they make expression of their living mind. They have their thoughts published in their books as well as through the medium of living men who think those thoughts and who criticize, compare, and disseminate them. Disseminate means distribute. Intellectual persons in Europe have their thinking and thoughts published in their books as well as through the medium of living men. Some at least of the drawbacks means disadvantages or faults. Some at least of the drawbacks of the academic education are redeemed. Redeemed means regained by the living energy of the intellectual personality pervading in their social system. Pervading in their social organism means system here. It is like the stagnant reservoir. Stagnant means motionless, reservoir means a container or repertoire. It is like the stagnant reservoir of water which finds its purification in the showers of rain to which it gives itself open. But to our misfortune, we have in India all the furniture of the European university except the human teacher. Here, Tagore really deplores the fact that we have mechanical teacher, not humanistic teacher, unfortunately. Word meanings: clatter, a loud rattling sound; disseminate, to distribute; maxim, proverb, adage; aphorism, pervade, to spread through or throughout; perpetual, lasting forever; proficiency, expertise, skills; prospective, potential; recoup, compensate; redeem, gain or regain possession of something in exchange for payment; reservoir, a container, repertoire; stagnant, not flowing or running, as water, air, etc. Strut, to walk with a vain, pompous bearing; trampled, walk in a specified way; treated; ulterior, intentionally hidden or existing beyond what is obvious or admitted. My dear students, now we'll practice fill in the blanks without clues. Fill in the blanks without clues is an exercise or test with certain words removed, where students are asked to restore the missing words. This closed test requires students to understand the context and vocabulary to identify the correct words for the blanks. Before starting the fill in the blanks without clues, I want you people to remember certain points. First of all, you'll read the text thoroughly to comprehend the passage. You'll read the passage in between the lines. Secondly, you'll find out the difficult word meanings. Thirdly, you'll find the relation of word after the gap. And then you'll be very careful about grammatical facts. Today, I'll help you in filling in the blanks with appropriate word in each gap. Let me start. Indian educational system is a dash materialistic. So you see, materialistic is an adjective here. So before the adjective, we can use an adverb. So as an adverb, what can you use? What will be suitable for this blank? So Indian educational system is quite materialistic. If I use quite, it is an adverb, I can use it. And also you can use other synonymous words for this like entirely, completely, fully. Any synonymous word. Okay. Second one, it tempts learners to dash qualifications by imitating European plans and dash. If you remember the text, it tempts learners to dash qualifications. What will be the answer here? We can use, after to, we can use the base form of the verb, that is infinitive. It tempts learners to acquire qualifications by imitating European plans. And whenever you'll be using and, you'll find that both the sides of this and is the same parts of speech you can use. So we can use plans and programs. In fact, Indian universities or academic institutions have no dash and productivity. What the Indian universities did not have. They don't did not have any creativity or originality or ingenuity. You can write any of those words. So we'll write here, in fact, Indian universities or academic institutions have no creativity and productivity. They dash plans and programs from European educational institutions. So they is a subject. After they, we'll need to use a verb. So if you remember, the word will be borrow. They borrow plans and programs from European educational institutions. Borrow is what is it? It is a verb. So after the subject, we have used verb here. It really lowers down the ego and the dash. So again, we have found and. So both the sides, same course of speech. Here we are getting ego, so we can write here prestige or honor or esteem of an intellectual person in India while following their plan and programs. It is found that the dash spirit of European universities is widely spread. So, in this place, if you remember, we can use living. We can use this adjective before the noun spirit. Okay, and then it is also reflected in their societies. Dash literature, and the numerous activities of their corporate life. So, if you remember the points, it was reflected in their society, literature, numerous activities, and parliament. So, we can write here in their societies, parliament, literature, and numerous activities of their corporate life. Parliament, it is also a noun we can use here. Intellectual persons in Europe have their thinking and thoughts published in dash as well as through the medium of living men. Where was it published? Where the intellectual persons in Europe have their thinking and thoughts published in? They published in books. So we can, after this preposition, we can write books, the noun, as well as through the medium of living men. But it is not found in India. It is a matter of dash concern. So before this noun concern, we can write an adjective. We can write, what can you write? You can write great or serious or significant, any synonymous word. Okay? I think this fill in the blanks without clues is a bit easier comparing to fill in the blanks without with clues, because here you have the opportunity to use synonymous words. For your convenience, I have added the answers in the next slide. Answer to fill in the blanks with appropriate word. A. Quiet. B. Acquire. C. Programs. D. Creativity. E. Borrow. F. Prestige. G. Living. H. Parliament. I. Books. J. Great. Homework. Write 20 word meanings from Unit 15, Lesson 1 in your homework copy. Fill in the blanks without clues will be given for practicing by your respective subject teacher in class. Dear students, I hope you have enjoyed your lesson today. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.